Alright, we are doing an old school video. You're having a cup holder view of me. Yeah, I just worked out, luckily. This car don't have AC, so eventually we'll get that fixed. But for now, we suffer? Is that the right word to say? I mean, it's bad, but what are you gonna do? But I worked out finally. I did some chest. Did just kind of like an overall workout, so that kind of worked. That worked well. I don't know why my headphones just did that. They connected, disconnected. I don't even know if the audio is working for them right now, but back to the video. We worked out and did an overall workout where it was some chest, some abs, some triceps, all that. So that was good to get back into the gym and at least function, at least get back in and do some shit, because it's been way too long since I last went to the gym. So definitely disappointed in myself for waiting so long, but like my wife says, like, what are you gonna do? Just complain about it? You're just gonna you're just gonna cry about it type of deal, which I totally understand. I totally understand everything that she's saying. Like, what's the point of complaining about it if just do it or just stop complaining? Like, there's no middle ground. What's the point of complaining? So yeah, and I ate pretty well today. I didn't eat much. That was the problem. Yeah, I didn't eat much. Just had a shake, yogurt, blueberries, and then oatmeal. But I didn't have all my oatmeal. Fuck, I hate oatmeal. But so that was really good. I watched the latest episode of House of Dragon. I liked it. I think it got bad reviews. I don't really know why. And I'm usually someone who's pretty critical. Not critical out loud. I usually have my, just my monologue, my internal monologue that I usually don't share. I mean, I don't really see the necessity of pointing out things, especially if someone likes something. Don't ruin it for them. I don't really, I spent so much of my life in that brain fog, in that, always critical of things, and watching YouTube videos. I remember way back, watching fucking Nerdrotic, I think that was his thing, and Geeks and Gamers, and The Quartering, and it just made me so miserable. Oh my god, I was so miserable. I was so, and I wasn't even anti-woke. That wasn't really, I never really hated the other side when I was the other side. I didn't really hate the other side. It was just more I don't know. It's very easy to get into an us them versus them mentality. I still find some things goofy that they kind of try to project. I don't know what this guy's doing, dude. I can't see past you, dude. What are you doing? What are you doing, dude? What the fuck are you doing, bro? You're terrible, man. You're blocking the whole fucking thing. Terrible, man. That guy's a complete ding-dong. Complete ding-dong. But yeah, I'm not really, I don't know, I am not as negative anymore. I could be miserable in my own world and stuff like that, but I'm more miserable at me. I'm not really miserable at others. But I know a lot of the times I need to like be more assertive and be more like get things done constantly. Luckily, I worked with two organizations today. One looks pretty hopeful to pay off some utility bills that are a little late with my apartment. So if they could pay for that, that'd be obviously amazing. And then I am working with another organization to possibly pay off my car, which I have about $850 to pay off my car. But if I could pay off my car and that utility bill, obviously that would help tremendously. So I'm hoping that both those things can go through, and that I can kind of find more balance in my bills. That's what I'm hoping, and I think that's definitely a possibility going forward. So that is extremely it's gross. That'll be extremely helpful like down the road. So if both those things can be settled, then in my overall bills I can save $240, which is, like a steady week of groceries right there. That's like an expensive grocery bill right there for a month. So obviously that will help a lot. And then if I can settle that other utility bill, I won't even have to pay that. So it'll kind of just be the normal bills, and not having to pay my my Rockland Federal Credit Union will be like a godsend. That will be definitely the most helpful, because that bill has gone like unpaid sometimes just because I don't have it on auto pay, and the website doesn't always work, so I have to call. And I know that's complete laziness, like that excuse to pay it. And sometimes I just get behind on bills just because I don't have the money that week, or I don't have the money that month. So luckily these organizations have worked with me. They are working with me. And I can hopefully pay that down to really help the financial situation. So not only does that help, but my wife works, which helps tremendously. And we're kind of at this point we are getting by. We are surviving on a much better. We are surviving much better with what we're doing. I don't know how long I'll be able to do this video, because I don't know, man. It is so fucking hot in here, and I don't want the fucking wind to disrupt what I'm doing and talking and all the cars going by. But it's rough out there. I mean, there's no other way to look at it. Luckily, as a veteran, I have resources, and I could imagine in the regular civilian side of things, maybe you have resources too. But I don't know, man. I don't really think that that's an avenue. So, like, this year I've gotten a lot of help from some really great organizations, like Easter Seals and Friends of Veterans and Vets Count have really stepped up and made my life a lot easier. I would say the best help that I've got from one of these organizations was just kind of a critical element with my tires that ended up being bad, and they came in and they fixed them. They fixed them right away. Like that day, my tires were so bad that the metal was chipping out of them. Like it was so bad. And one of my coworkers was like, "Yeah, like." I was like, "Oh, check my tires out," and they were like, "Dude, you can't drive in these tires." And it was snow, so it was horrendous. My tires were bare, completely flat, no tread on them, and I was driving in the snow, and I constantly got stuck in the snow. I had to be pushed sometimes out of the snow. Yeah, it was terrible. But then I got a hold of Easter Seals or Vets Count. They kind of work in tandem, and they needed some documents, they needed some paperwork, and they got those documents settled it right away. Like, really, that day, they worked on it and then made sure it happened. And that was fucking awesome, man. That was really, that saved it could have saved my life for all I know, because my tires were that bad. I was in a really precarious situation. So they helped with that. They helped with my wife's tires and brakes and rotors. They helped with like a spark plug or something like that. And then Friends of Veterans helped with my car payment that was late. And they went above and beyond and sent $1,000 when my payment was $720 and they sent $1,000. So I only need $800 to pay off my car, and that would obviously help so much. I would own my car, and then I would just have the convenience on it. So again, thank you so much for doing that. They're not paying me right now, so this is just me boasting about them, because they really do deserve it. I mean, that's incredible. So right now I'm trying to get my car payment and that utility bill all set, and then I can focus more on my other bills. And my raise is going to be going through. So in reality, I'm going to be saving. If everything goes through, I'll be saving monthly just about $450 between the two, between getting the raise and getting that. So that pretty much covers my credit card bills, and everything else is pretty much settled already with how much I already make and how much my wife brings in. We're pretty much breaking even. Like right now, we're not really breaking even. We're a little bit behind. All right. I was going to run today, but then I figured it was too fucking hot. I think it's like 100 degrees today. So even my phone might crash, because it crashed last time when I was in my car, but my car doesn't have AC, so that's going to affect it. But yesterday I got a workout in the morning. It wasn't the longest workout, but I got one in. As far as eating, man, I don't really think I ate anything. I think I had some ice cream that my boss ordered for us from the Puritan. So we got that, and that was pretty good. That was like a coffee Oreo ice cream. So I'm not gonna lie, that I enjoyed that shit. But it wasn't healthy at all. Obviously, it's ice cream. And then when I came home, I had like some fries and like a slice of pizza, and the pizza was junk. It's from like our favorite place, but they just put so much fucking cheese on it. It was disgusting. So we ended up skipping out on that. I'm gonna be turning around now. So this is my run that I usually do. But when I was out here, I was like, God damn, man, it is way too hot for this bullshit. And I know that my phone is literally gonna die on this. But yesterday, what happened yesterday? Wife and I ended up getting some pizza, and I cleaned a lot. I'll tell you that much. I cleaned a lot around the house. And then today was actually pretty good. Today we ended up waking up. I got my wife an English muffin, like sandwich that ended up being pretty delicious. For her, I got her another one for the next day too. So, and then I got a coffee. And then once I got home, we ended up going to a farm and picking raspberries. Once that was over with, we took a drive down to Barnes & Noble's, got myself a book. Then we went to Ulta and got some makeup. And then I went to Walmart to pick up a few things. Then we went to Tropical Smoothie, got some stuff that way. We're gonna go to the Steps, which is a place in, I think it's called Arms Park in Manchester. If you ever come down this way, whoever's listening to this, and you decide to stop in Manchester, which you should, I think Manchester's not a nice city, but it's got a lot of culture to it. And then if you drop by Manchester, you should go to Arms Park, and you should go to, I believe it's called Derryfield Park. And there's a nice walk up to a lighthouse, and it's an open park as far as once you go, there's so much room, and there's like a cross-country trail that ends up having like an exit to where it's really nice. And at that park, you can see a nice viewpoint of the city of Manchester and the mountains that are behind that. So I think that it's a nice stroll, and it's a nice place to go. So, but then as far as games go, and then eating today was terrible. I don't think I ate one thing today. I just had the coffee, and hence why I'm not going for a run instead of trying to go for a run right now. Because when I was headed out of my apartment unit, and then towards the end of the trail, like the end of the road that leads to this main road, I was like, dude, I have not ate anything today. Like, there's not been one thing that I ate today, and it's like 5 o'clock. That's not new to me. Like, I usually don't eat anything. Like, I don't know what it is. I have no idea why I don't eat, but I didn't eat anything, so that was not smart on my part. And then like the coffee anxiety as well, so it's just like total like messing that up for today. But I'm hoping that later, and I don't think that it's going to be the case because I think we had it last week, but I'm hoping that later we get some Chinese food. I'm going to let my wife decide on what we have for dinner, but I'm hoping that she decides to go something Chinese food, but I highly doubt it. I think she's just not going in that direction today. Just from like kind of finding out what she has been kind of like feeling as far as food. I don't think that Chinese food would make her feel better. So yeah, so that's today. Hopefully we end up watching something, we relax. I have today off, or I did have today off. So that was really nice. And I got out of work a little early yesterday, so that was nice too. As far as games go, I downloaded Neverwinter Nights 2. And I downloaded Neverwinter Nights 2. I ended up buying it. I think it was like $20. After playing Planescape Torment, I've been looking for a game that kind of has the same kind of story, like let me try to word this correctly. The same kind of like written narrative that Planescape had, and not many games have that. A lot of games definitely divulge in a lot of ways from that Planescape narrative, and Planescape's narrative is just so excellent that, you know, when you're playing it, it's just kind of like, whoa, this is like just better written than, you know, every single thing out there. And it's written in a way that doesn't have a crazy amount of, like, you need to really be into that kind of writing style. I think that the writing style is kind of perfect. Like, it's not like Shakespearean. It doesn't have a crazy prose to it. Sorry for even if I butcher that word. Prose to it. I think that it has kind of like a modern tone to it, and it came out in 1998, I believe. And it's just kind of the perfect blending of like very well written but easily understood, wacky, from another universe, which Planescape Torment is. I feel like it's just, obviously it's from a whole different universe, and you won't get that narrative really anywhere else. That being said, Chris Avellone, the director of Planescape Torment, or the writer. I don't know if he's the director or the creator or writer, but he's wrote a few other games. That includes Knights of the Old Republic 2, and there's another one out there that gets high praise as well. But he wrote, I don't know if he wrote Neverwinter Nights 2. I'll have to look into that. But he did write, I think he wrote Pillars of Eternity 2. I think that's his other big one. So it's like Pillars of Eternity 2, Planescape Torment, Neverwinter Nights 2, and Knights of the Republic 2. So he has a huge catalog, and those 4 games are some of the most well-written games that are out there. And Neverwinter Nights 2, the DLC, Mask of the Betrayer, is one of those DLCs that people say is very reminiscent of Planescape Torment. It's kind of in the same vein. It asks a lot of questions. It's just a very well-written DLC. So, of course, I did my research as far as how good the DLC is compared to the base game, and people are just like, you had to play the base game, but the DLC just kind of blows the base game out. And that kind of reminds me of Xenoblade 3, where the narrative was incredible of Xenoblade 3, and I think that would be the case with Neverwinter Nights 2. But the DLC for Neverwinter Nights 2 seems like Future Redeemed. As just Future Redeemed is for me kind of catapults, even thinking about Xenoblade Chronicles 1. I love Xenoblade Chronicles 1. It's easily one of my favorite games. And going back to play it, I was like, I think that first playthrough was kind of mind-blowing, while the second playthrough still reminds me of how good the game is, but it doesn't pack the same punch when you kind of know the secrets and trying to recapture that feeling. But Future Redeemed, when I replayed it pretty recently, I was like, man, this still holds the same kind of punch that when I first played it. And Xenoblade Chronicles 1 just doesn't have that DLC, and I think that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 base game will go pretty close to base game of Xenoblade Chronicles 1. But the DLC just puts it into a whole nother stratosphere. So when I think about Xenoblade Chronicles 3, it might honestly be my ambassador for the Xenoblade games, because the base game, I would say, with everything included, there's not going to be, when you think of Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3, and X, you have to think about everything included. It's not just this game versus that game. It's what games are doing better, what games have that originality factor, what game has the better soundtrack, what game has the better soundtrack at what points of the game, what game has better gameplay, what game has better characters, what game has better story moments. Just the list goes on and on. So, putting them side by side, they're matched very well together because they're matched well together because one does one thing a little bit better than the other one, and vice versa. So, and even though they are very similar, they're so different in so many ways. So, Neverwinter Nights 2, I'm hoping that, here we go, I'm gonna go down my neighborhood now. When I think about Neverwinter Nights 2, that's what I'm hoping that I get from it. Yeah, that's what I hope I get from it. So that's the hope, is that I get this game that's very, that the base game's really good. I mean, I remember when Neverwinter Nights 2 came out, same with Neverwinter Nights 1. And they did, they didn't quite look like the games that I wanted. I'm not a big D&D guy. And I could really give two shits about Faerun. It's my childhood, but I'm just not a big D&D guy, and the storylines that are in D&D. My brother, on the other hand, it's a whole different equation on that one. But I am probably going to play Neverwinter Nights 2. If I don't play that, then I'm going to play like Sea of Stars or something along those lines. But I just wanted to make a quick video about some of the things that I am, a little beeping, that I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start trying to, kind of, again, like a journal entry of things that have been done and that I want to do coming up. So that's going to probably be it for today. Just want to make a quick one. And then I'll probably make a video on Sunday when I'm driving to go get groceries. But I do want to keep this going, just kind of this series on YouTube, as far as saying how my day's been going. And if anyone's watching, again, I appreciate you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys next time through this video series. I'm gonna get home, take a shower, take the pups out, and then hopefully eat some delicious food. So I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time.